Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Today, I have podcast 189. I cannot believe that I'm 11 short of 200. But if you add in all the daily deals and all the other podcasts and my interviews, I'm like at almost 300 podcasts. That's so cool. I love it. Anyway, got off on a tangent. You know me. I have 5 questions sent in by real estate investors who had a question. I'm going to try my best to answer it if I can. And remember, if you have a question, send it to support@michaelquarles.com. One more time, support@michaelquarles.com. Or you can jump on michaelquarles.com, go to Contact Michael. There's a form there you could fill out with your question. Or you could text the word wealth to the number 313131. And there's a little place, one of the questions it's going to ask you is, do you have anything for me? Do you have any questions for me? And if you write a question, we'll answer that question on a podcast. That form is really cool because it keeps you accountable to yourself. So it will send you a response. So one of the questions is, what do you want to accomplish tomorrow? And it'll ask you pretty much, did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish tomorrow, the next day kind of thing. So it's a great way to keep yourself accountable or held accountable. And then the other thing is, if you want to become an investor or you want to invest the way I do it, text the word investor to 313131, the word investor to 313131. It will send you a questionnaire as well, ultimately all the way through, so you could sign up for the coaching program and get you started making some massive wealth. So here we go on our podcast 189, question number 1. Michael, I think they're talking to me. Do you still make seller calls? The only time I make seller calls today, quite frankly, is when I'm helping a coaching student try to get a deal done. So one of the nice things about the coaching program, if a coaching student is stumbling with a seller on putting a deal together, I do not mind doing a third party or a conference call with the coaching student as their partner kind of thing. With the seller, that's the only time I'm going to make a seller call today because I have systemized my business. I have Alex's, Ryan's, and Angel's for that. And I believe that if you have people that can do the work for you, you should allow them to do the work for you is what we're paying them for. I spoke to a person I interviewed today regarding mobile home investing, which was fascinating, by the way. So when it comes out, I hope you guys enjoy that. But one of the key components that we talked about is how sometimes you can have labor that you're not utilizing that just costs you money. You look back at the end of the year and go, gosh, I just paid this person all these thousands of dollars. Did they do anything for me? Well, I don't want to question that at the end of the year for myself. I don't want to fall back and go, gosh, I paid all these Alex, Ryans, and Angels. Did they do anything for me? So no, I don't want to call any sellers back in. But again, I will do it in a case where I'm helping a coaching student. And I hope that makes sense. I mean, I already know how to do it. I know the drill. I understand how to use embedded commands, mimicking, pacing, positive, negative reinforcements, and some neurolinguistics. And so I'd much rather have someone else do it for me. I'm just, not that I'm lazy. I just want to have more opportunity than I can have by myself. But it's a great question. Question number 2. Can you tell us what you pay the people who have been calling the sellers? I can. It's not fair to them, I don't believe, but I can. Keep in mind, they start out as a temp serve. So although I'm kind of responsible for setting their starting pay, because I tell the temp serve what I'm willing, within the boundaries of what I'm willing to pay them so they can pay somebody else. And I pay my temp serve, by the way, 150% of what they pay. So if they pay someone $10 an hour, I'm going to pay my temp serve $15 an hour. That includes workman's comp, the hiring, the critiquing or background check on the individual, their taxes, unemployment, and all that kind of good stuff. So I find that advantageous, and I have to have them work off, I think it's 764 hours before they turn from a temp serve employee to a full-time employee, which gives me enough time to determine if, in fact, I want them to become a full-time employee of mine. And then when they do, they get the added benefit of vacation days, sick days, and paid health insurance. Although I do not legally have to pay for health insurance for the people that help me create wealth, I think that's something I should do. So therefore, I offer it to them. And keep in mind, the more we compensate, and we don't necessarily have to compensate our employees directly, but the more we do, the more benefit that they can see by working for you, the better their work will be for you. And so we even go as far as having a game room. They can play pool, they can watch TV, listen to the radio, they can do all kinds of stuff. There's couches, they can lay down. There's not any clocks. There's no way for them to know how long they've been there unless they look at their iPhones or watches or what have you. And the whole mentality is, if you're in that room, it's the chill zone. It's there to relax. And because I expect when they're not relaxing, they're doing good stuff for me, and I want to reward them. So I think there's some good reasons to benefit people other than just giving them a paycheck. But that's just my personal opinion. And I hope you can appreciate that. I can't divulge what I pay to them. I can tell you that it's better than minimum wage. And I think that's appropriate. I do have in my businesses, I do have a starting wage that is far in excess of the minimum wage. I just think it's the best thing to do. So question number 3, how do you keep a vacant property in a bad neighborhood safe from being stripped while waiting to close? Well, this is a little secret. You cannot share it with anybody. Okay? Don't share this secret, because if you do, other people will use it. There was a time that we would secure our properties by putting chain link fences in front of them, which is some insurance policies want you to do on vacant insurance. We would, board up the windows and what have you, so they couldn't break the windows and that kind of good stuff. And so we would go that route. And then we would do some security alarm systems that were temporary, highly illegal probably in some states, some areas. But we would put in a temporary alarm, so if someone went into the house or started rattling on something, it would go off. So we did all those kinds of things. However, here's the secret you can't share. We actually now have, on all of our properties that we buy, we have them patrolled by a patrol service. They see them 3 times a night. So they actually visit the property. They take pictures of them visiting the property, so I can actually see them perform, because they're charging us based upon each time they visit. So in order for them to prove that they've actually visited the property, they take a timestamp picture. They take several timestamp pictures, because they're going to do the outside of the property, the back door, the front door, the backyard, the front yard. They're going to take pictures of the inside of the house. We typically have given them keys. In the cases where they do not have keys to enter the building, they take pictures through the windows if they can. So it's a really convenient thing, except they also call us at 2 o'clock in the morning when they find little things that they want us to know about. But the moment that I started having my properties visited by security or patrol service, all my problems went away. So it was great. It's a good investment. Is it expensive? Like everything else in life, some of the great things are expensive, but then again, it's not nearly as expensive as losing the inside of a house because someone has stripped it clean. And so I like the security. And so in each city, you'll find a security company that will go around and do this for you. And I think it's a benefit. I believe it costs me, I want to say like $20 a night per building. And so they're stopping 3 times. I don't think that's a big fee, $7 or whatever it is. And, 3 times a night. And on one occasion, they actually arrested an individual or held them to be arrested. And one of the things we learned in that situation is we have to give them authorization to arrest. If not, all they will do is take information and let the perp go. I needed to teach a lesson to people that were trying to enter my vacant property. So I let my security officers now know that they can hold and detain someone until police get there to arrest them for trespassing. And then, of course, your security company will post all your signs that are necessary to be able to do that on property that's been trespassed upon. So great question.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 4. I noticed a lot of calls in the Daily Deal podcasts are coming in from people who have Googled I buy houses. Are you doing a lot of pay-per-click? I don't want to say I'm doing a lot of pay-per-click. We do a lot of pay-per-click, but what's a lot? We still do a gosh awful amount of direct mail. I like direct mail. I like pay-per-click too. So, yeah. But you'll also hear that people that call in from postcards and yellow letters and all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, both of those. I like Google. I like Bing. I like Yahoo. And I have a guy on staff who that is their job to manage that. In fact, we also have that service for you folks. If you guys want to set up your pay-per-click business or your website to do that, we actually can manage that for you. And we're actually pretty good at it. I think we run, I don't know, I think it's around 1,500 pay-per-click words on 3 different kind of categories, and it works well. But it's not the only thing we do for marketing. So it's just one of the nice things. One of the bad things about pay-per-click, if there is a bad thing, is that we never know if the prospect has an equity base in order for them to be able to sell us their property, where we do know that if it's a direct mail prospect. The good thing about pay-per-click over direct mail is that we have a tendency of having a higher motivated person or prospect calling us because keep in mind, they're searching for us. The other negative on pay-per-click is that when they search for us, we're not the only one they can find. So the component of pay-per-click that's real important to understand is that you have to either one, answer the phone live or call that person back within moments because they're looking for someone to solve their problem. And there's a host of people on Google that will solve their problem for them. So you got to be really responsive to it. I would not use a pay-per-click lead service. So some of those companies that are out there that are just buying leads via pay-per-click or getting people to give them a lead via pay-per-click and then selling that lead to somebody else. And the reason I wouldn't buy those is because they're not just selling it to me. And even though they say, you're the only investor in your market we're selling this lead to, or you're the only investor in this zip code, that's great, but you're not the only person they're selling that thing to. They're selling it to real estate agents and other folks as well. And so keep in mind that that prospect is being marketed to from an after form submission by multiple people. And I don't want that to happen. I want to be the only one talking to them, which is why I have someone on staff that manages our pay-per-click. I hope that made sense. I'm not sure if that did or not, and I apologize if it didn't. Question number 5. What is the first step needed to take in order to dominate my market? Attitude. Attitude. You are who you think you are. You're as big as you think you are. You're as little as you think you are. You're significant if you think you are. You're insignificant if you think you are. So the first thing you need to do is get up in the morning, write down on something that I am going to dominate my market. Then start writing all the things that you must accomplish in order to do that. In fact, dominate your market. So all of the little things, and don't be afraid to think outside the box. Once you think outside the box, to carry out that thought process, even though it may be intimidating to you, you must stand up like the gorilla at the zoo and pound on your chest to let everybody know that you are the dominant force in your market. Because you know what a gorilla gets to do? It's one thing and one thing only. A gorilla gets to do anything they want to. If you want to be the gorilla in your market, pound on your chest every friggin' day. Don't take an excuse. Don't make an excuse. Don't accept anything but excellence. And when something other than excellence comes by, understand that's what it is. It's okay to fall down. Get right back up, fall forward, and run to dominate your market. That's all I have to say. That you are as good as you are because you think you are. And if you're not good, it's because you think you're not. No one else in this world is in charge of you like you are. So first step, you got to believe. Believe, believe, believe. If you do not believe in your success or that you're valuable, that you will have success, neither will I. Neither will your friends. Neither will anybody else in life. Neither will a seller. And I can guarantee you I can make an offer to a seller for less value than most investors and have that offer accepted merely because the seller believes in my dominance. Because when I am in front of a seller, I perform at a level that causes them to believe that I am the person they need to hire. People want to be told what to do. You tell people what to do and they follow along. Of course, you have to be polite about it and you have to be professional about it. But if you have two people, one who's Mr. Wimpy and one who's Mr. I'm not so wimpy, which one are you going to follow? Because when there's danger and you need help, you're going to find that person who can help you. Nothing worse than thinking you found help in someone that doesn't know how to help. And so the idea of believing in yourself goes a long way in front of the seller. They can see us, they can read us better than we can read ourselves. And keep in mind, some of these people are so afraid to say yes that they need that encouragement from that dominant person. They need that guidance, that help. Don't be afraid to be that person at all. If you do not believe in yourself, no one else will. That's all I got to say. Believe, 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 believe. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how poor you are. I don't care if you're a girl. I don't care if you're a guy. I don't care if you're fat, skinny, short, tall, what skin color you are, what sexual preference you have. If you want to buy houses, if you want to dominate your market, be the guy and the gal to go to, you want to be that gorilla, just go do it. Just go do it. That's all I got to do. Just go be it. And again, write down that you want to be it and then write down all the ways to become it. Don't be afraid of those ways and start implementing. Fun podcast. I enjoyed that one. Sorry I wasn't able to answer how much I pay my Alexes and my Ryans and my Angels, but I hope you appreciate that. Till next time, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.